This is Terry Bakian, the project planner. The item before you is a request for a pre-application review of a 100-unit, all-affordable apartment project. The recommendation is that the City Council review and provide preliminary comments on a pre-application for a general plan amendment, zone change, special use permit, density bonus, and lot merger to allow for the construction of 100 units, all-affordable apartment project. This is not a formal application, but a pre-application that allows the City Council members an opportunity to make individual comments concerning the future Harrison Avenue apartment project. Comments provided by the City Council on a pre-application do not constitute a decision or endorsement of the proposal. In accordance with the state law, no formal direction or decision making will take place until such time as a formal application has been filed and has undergone appropriate environmental review and evaluation of consistency with adopted city plans and policies, and public notice has been provided. The council's preliminary comments may help inform the applicant's decision to proceed through the entitlement process. The applicant proposes the development of a 100-unit all-affordable apartment project on an existing vacant lot consisting of 5 parcels between Harrison Avenue and Oxnard Boulevard, adjacent to the railroad tracks. This project consists of a new, approximately 69,200 square foot, 4-story building containing 72 studio units, 7 one-bedroom units, 21 two-bedroom units, and 100 uncovered parking spaces. As a 100% affordable development and due to its proximity to the transit station, pursuant to state density bonus laws, the project is eligible for reductions of development standards. The proposal includes increased density, 64 units per acre, and reduction of parking, setbacks, and open space. However, the specific details of the project and each request may change as the project is processed through the entitlement review process. The general plan and zoning designation on the 3 westernly parcels are inconsistent with residential development. Therefore, the project would require an amendment to the 2030 general plan and a zone change. The general plan amendment and zone change would allow for 5 lots to be merged and development on as a single project, which would allow for the better placement of parking, increased landscaping and amenities, as well as allowing the units to be located further away from the adjacent railroad tracks to help mitigate noise concerns. The required city approvals are as follows. The general plan amendment would change the designation for the 3 western parcels from industrial limited to commercial general. This general plan amendment is necessary in order for all parcels to fall under the same general plan CG designation, which would allow for the development of residential on the entire project site once the associated zone change is approved. The zone change would revise the zoning of the 3 western parcels from limited manufacturing to general commercial planned development affordable housing discretionary, or C2PDAHD. The zone change would result in all 5 parcels being zoned C2PDAHD, which would allow for this project to utilize all 5 lots for residential proposed as a single project. The AHD zoned would allow for 30 units to the acre, resulting in 46 maximum units on the combined parcel. The special use permit would allow the development of the apartment project within the general commercial planned development affordable housing, or C2PDAHD zone, pursuant to the AHD standards. The density bonus would allow for increased density and modifications or reductions of development standards. The proposal includes a density bonus of 117% to increase the maximum number of units from 46 units to 100 units. and reductions in parking, where 186 would be required by the zone versus 100 that is proposed. Front setbacks, where 20 is required and 5 is proposed. And open space, where 17,364 square feet required versus 2,228 square feet proposed. A lot merger will also be required for this project to consolidate all parcels into a single parcel. An environmental analysis pursuant to California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, will be required. This slide shows the location and surrounding sites on either side of the project. I'm sorry. On either side of the project are the rescue mission and the thrift store, and on the other side is an auto repair shop. The site is currently unused except for a small number of storage containers. The project site general plan designation and zoning designation vary. This slide shows the general plan map. The CG and ILM designations are adjacent. By doing the general plan amendment, this would allow the same designation across all the lots. The westernmost parcels have an industrial limited ILM general plan designation. The two easterly parcels were amended for industrial limited to commercial general. This slide shows the project zone and surrounding zones. You can see where the C2 PD AHD zone and the ML zone border each other, making the zone change to C2 PD AHD a smooth transition. The portion zoned ML is intended for limited manufacturing, not the proposed residential use. Therefore, rezoning from ML to C2 PD AHD as part of the adoption of the city's 2021 through 2029 housing element would make for a smooth transition. The affordable housing additive zones were city-initiated zones designations to provide opportunities for development of affordable residential developments to help reach the city's regional housing needs. This is the conceptual plan, the conceptual site plan, and shown is the location of the 100 parking spaces, open space location, and building. Slide 9 shows the conceptual floor plans and configuration of the building. Here we have the conceptual elevations and possible color combinations with some offsetting planes. Slides 11 and 12 are highlighted. We have highlighted some potential items for consideration in the council review of this item. However, the council may raise additional items for the applicant and staff to consider as the project moves through the entitlement process. The GPA and zone change for the easterly parcel were specifically done as part of the adoption of the city's 2021 through 2029 housing element to help the city achieve compliance with the most recent RHNA allocation. Although the general plan amendment and zone change of the westerly parcels is not needed for the city's RHNA allocation, the consideration of these additional 3 parcels provides the opportunity to allow for better placement of parking, increased landscaping and amenities, as well as allowing the units to be located further away from the adjacent railroad tracks to help mitigate noise concerns. The proposal includes 2 proposed driveways on Harrison Avenue and an exit into Cooper Road. Based on preliminary review by the City of Oxnard Traffic Division, the proposed access and road connection to Cooper Road will not be permitted due to its proximity to the intersection and railroad. However, the 2 proposed driveways on Harrison Avenue and drive aisles will provide a sufficient emergency access on the site. As part of the entitlement review process, a traffic study will be required to review the impacts of the additional traffic on the street network. If required, appropriate improvements will be incorporated into the project conditions. Pedestrian safety. The project will result in increased pedestrian traffic in the area due to the additional residential population. The project, if approved, will be required to construct pedestrian-oriented frontage improvements, including sidewalks and ADA driveway crossings. The improvements may extend north to the intersection of Cooper Road to connect to the existing sidewalk on the south side of Cooper Road. However, due to the existing business between the project site and Cooper Road, further analysis will be required to determine the feasibility. During the entitlement process, the city will look at potential improvements along Cooper Road frontage adjacent to the railroad. However, the improvements may be limited due to the railroad-owned property and easements. Open space. The city code requires 17,364 square feet of open space for the project of this size. The project is proposing a small interior amenity space, approximately 2,228 square feet, and no exterior open areas. The applicant indicated that pursuant to the density bonus law regulations, they will seek reduction of open space requirements. While on-site amenities are limited, the city's Colonia Park is located less than half a mile to the east of the project site. Additionally, Del Sol Park is approximately 1 mile away, and Plaza Park is approximately a half a mile away. Should the project move forward, it would be subject to park development fees. Parking. Due to the proximity to the Oxnard Transit Center, under density bonus provisions and Assembly Bill 2097, the city cannot impose minimum parking requirements on the project. Specifically, the project within a half a mile of a major transit stop are exempt from minimum parking requirements. However, the project is currently voluntarily providing 100 parking spaces, or 1 per unit. While this is less than required under the Oxnard City Code, which would normally be 186 spaces, this far exceeds the 0 parking space requirement under the state law. The final number of parking spaces will be reduced if the project proceeds through the entitlement process. As indicated in the previous section of this report, an exit will not be permitted on Cooper Road. Therefore, at minimum, the 7 parking stalls shown in that area would have to be eliminated. Railroad and street noise. This project will result in residential units being constructed near active railroad tracks, as well as a preliminary and primary artillery road, Oxnard Boulevard. As such, the noise from both rail and vehicular traffic will need to be mitigated consistent with the general plan and Oxnard City Code. Sound mitigation measures will be determined by an acoustical study provided by the developer, and the mitigations will be incorporated into the project conditions. Scale and massing. The proposed 4-story building at 46 feet in height would be substantially taller than the surrounding development. However, the majority of the site is already zoned C2 PD AHD, which allows for up to a 5-story building 56 feet in height. The proposed general plan amendment and zone change would allow for the building to move closer to the railroad if desired, but would not impact the surrounding primary single-story development more than the property as currently zoned. This concludes the presentation.